Can you imagine me in the editing process, typing sentimental and then posting it, then realizing it's actually sentimentai? I will look like such a fucking idiot. Hello everyone, how are you going? If you are new to this channel, welcome. How are you? My name is Lucas. If you are a returning viewer, how are you going? Did you enjoy Eurovision? I sure did. I didn't intend on making a third Eurovision video, but watching the grand final and just watching all of Eurovision as a whole, my thoughts 3 years prior to the event and then now looking back a week later from the grand final, my thoughts have shifted in terms of songs and especially in terms of who I liked more and who I liked less. I have thoughts on who I thought would have gone through to the grand final, and also in terms of grand final positioning. This isn't intended to be a long video. It's just going to be a short re-review of the competition and just sort of my thoughts and opinions on it now 1 week later from the grand final. I also have a few other videos planned. I'm currently in the middle of editing my first movie reaction, which I'm hoping to put on YouTube in the next week or two. So that's coming along very soon. I've got a whole list of things to cover. The best thing to start off with is to see who I wanted to go through to the grand final and compare it to who actually went through to the grand final. And let me tell you, looking back now at some of my choices,
what the fuck was I thinking?
Alright, so to recap, the countries that I wanted to go through to the grand final from the first semi-final were Latvia, Lithuania, Switzerland, Slovenia, Ukraine, Moldova, Portugal, Denmark, Austria, and Greece. Here are the countries who actually went through from semi-final 1. We had Lithuania, Switzerland, Ukraine, Netherlands, Moldova, Portugal, Iceland, Greece, Norway, and Armenia. Now, for the most part, I really am happy with this decision. For example, I'm happy with a lot of these countries. Norway, look, like I said, my Eurovision reaction, they were going to go through regardless. They didn't do as good as I thought in terms of the pointing system. They only came 6th in the first semi-final, so they weren't even in the top 5. It's very interesting. Armenia did better. I just saw that. Armenia did one better. And you know what? That's another thing too. I liked Armenia's one. And also, can I just say, what the fuck was I thinking about Latvia?
No.
Nah. Now, me, I can confirm. I didn't want Latvia to go through to the grand final. And I'm happy they didn't. I'm sorry to City Zeni. I'm sorry to Latvia, but that wasn't a good song. I'm sorry. And looking back now, I'm happy with how the semi-final turned out. The only country that I probably didn't want to go through probably would have been Norway, for obvious reasons. So I think instead of Norway, I probably would have wanted Albania to go through. Ronella's song was great, and her performance as well was really great too. I'm a little bit disappointed. They came 12th, so they weren't too far off. Well, they were a bit far off in comparison to who came 10th. Iceland. They had 103 points. Albania had 58. Well, it's a big stretch. And then from the second semi-final, the countries that I wanted to go through were Finland, Israel, Georgia, Australia, Ireland, Estonia, Montenegro, Belgium, Sweden, and the Czech Republic. Here's who actually went through from that second semi-final. We had Finland, Serbia, Azerbaijan, Australia, Estonia, Romania, Poland, Belgium, Sweden, and the Czech Republic. Here's where things are a little bit easier for me because I'm pretty much happy with, well, I'm not entirely happy. I'm happy with the majority of the countries that went through. The only two that I didn't like were Azerbaijan. I already said that I didn't want them to go through, but they did. And then, surprisingly enough, Belgium. Even though I said I wanted them to go through, looking back now, in comparison with some of the other songs, it wasn't as good as what I expected, especially the performance. But I'll probably get to that further down the list. The countries that I probably would have wanted to go through instead of Azerbaijan and Belgium would have been definitely Israel. Obviously, I mean, I'll get to Michael Ben David in a second, but Israel definitely, and I think I'm still holding on for Ireland because Brooke's song was pretty good. It would have either been Ireland or San Marino because everyone else's song, yeah, not even Georgia's song was like, I enjoyed Georgia's song, but like I said in the reaction, it was a bit repetitive, and I think that's what made me not like it even more. It didn't give as much as I thought it gave. Yeah, that's pretty much it for that. Now for my top 15. My top 15 has definitely changed. It's definitely done a bit of a mix about. Here are my top 15 about 3-4 weeks ago when I originally filmed the video. And here is my top 15 now. And as you can see, there is a bit of a shake-up here. I think the biggest shift in opinion for me for a song is definitely Serbia, which I'll get to later down the track. And also, I've put a Sheldon Riley song further down the list as well. Especially looking back at the grand final, it didn't stand out as much as I originally thought, which was very interesting. Again, I'll get around to it once I go down the list. Now, I will also quickly go through my thoughts in the semi-finals. I think the biggest shock for me was Israel not going through to the grand final, when I thought for sure it would have gone through, especially when I feel like Israel and Romania's songs are almost one and the same in terms of the type of song it is. But yeah, I thought at least they would have both gone through to the grand final, but Israel didn't go through. I really love the hosts this year, like Mika, Laura, and Alessandro. I think they did a really great job. That's also another good sign of a good Eurovision, especially when they interact with each other and help make the show energizing and vibrant. I think they really did that. I just still love the fact that Mika was one of the judges. And obviously he performed some of his greatest hits, which I loved. He performed Grace Kelly, Love Today, and Happy Ending. And then he also did his new song, which is also great too, Yo-Yo, I think it's called. Yep. I just wish he performed Big Girl, because that's my favourite Mika song at the moment. Now to go through some of the main points for me from the grand final in terms of the countries that were there, and my thoughts and opinions on the songs from the grand final in comparison to my thoughts about 4 weeks ago. Now, let's start off from the top. First and foremost, a really big congratulations to Kalush Orchestra and Ukraine for winning the Eurovision Song Contest this year with Stefania. 631 points. That's a lot. That's a lot of points for a song. It's not the highest, I'm pretty sure. I think the highest amount of points given to a song has been with Salvador Sobral back in 2017 for Portugal. But Kalush Orchestra is not too far up in having one of the highest scoring songs ever. I'm happy. I mean, like I said, Stefania is probably one of my more favourite songs of the competition this year. Like I said, there's probably a good 20 songs that I'm loving from this competition. I'm happy that a song that I loved won. That's the main thing for me. There isn't much else that I can say about the song that I've already said in the other video. Like I said, it gives off a lot of Black Eyed Peas vibes. Love that for me. One thing that I forgot to mention before was that, I don't know if it's about a mother in particular or just like one of the members' mums or just like a mum in general. That her name's Stefania. That's really nice. So now we're going to head off to the Ukraine next year. I wonder where it's going to be. One thing I don't want though is for it to be in Kiev again, because I would like it to be somewhere different. I want to see another place now, because obviously Ukraine had the competition in Kiev in 2017. And I think they had it in Kiev again when they first won. And they hosted the contest in 2005. I think it was in Kiev as well. Now, let's move on down. So, in second place was the United Kingdom, Sam Ryder with Spaceman. I am really happy for the United Kingdom that they did so well this year. Because over the last decade, the United Kingdom have not done well at all. They didn't even crack the top 20 for the most part, which really sucked. Not that it sucked. They just didn't have good music. I'm sorry to say it, but it's true. I'm just really happy that in comparison to last year they had 0 points overall, and now they just went flying up second in the next contest. It's kind of, I was thinking in my head when I was watching the points roll in for the United Kingdom during the voting, it was basically like after all these years, they're getting all the points now, and it's kind of like, who's laughing now,
Great job! Well done, Sam!
I just want to say also, if the Ukraine didn't, hang on, let me get some tea. If Ukraine didn't win, then I would have loved for the United Kingdom to win, because it would have been a complete 180. It was basically a 180 as it was, but I reckon it would have been all the more sweet if the UK won. But that's only if Ukraine didn't win, but they did. So it's all good, and I'm loving the song a lot more now, and seeing it perform live, and just seeing Sam. He seems like such a character in a good way. Like, he seems like a really cool person to be around. Honestly, nothing but love for the UK from me in terms of how well they've done. I'm happy for them for that. And then, same thing with third place, but we already knew this. Chanel with Slomo for Spain. take a video, watch a slow-mo, you know what I mean? I think Chanel's performance was one of my favourite performances of the night. She did what she had to do. I loved her outfit. It was sort of like the Matador-inspired outfit. The dancing, just everything about that, everything about the everything about the performance was perfection to me. I'm happy it did so well as well. Third place, that's the best that Spain has done in a while. It's, again, just like the UK. If the Ukraine didn't win, I would have been happy for Spain to win as well. And I'm also really happy that the version that Chanel had for the performance, the song, is also on Spotify as well, because I've been listening to that version as well, because that version kicks ass, like, it really does. Congratulations to the United Kingdom and Spain for doing really well after all those failed attempts in the past to do really well. Well deserved. Fourth place, we had Hold Me Closer by Cornelia Jakobs, who represented Sweden. Not surprising that Sweden's here. At the same time, I wasn't too sure where she was going to position. I came into the contest without knowing who were front runners to win. So I had no clue. I didn't know where Cornelia was going to end up. I just kind of hoped that I wasn't first because Sweden has already won in 2012 and 2016. I just think if Sweden won again, it would have been a bit of overkill for me. I can let Sweden being this high up slide. Unlike the last couple of years for Sweden, I actually like the song. So I'm happy that Cornelia did well. Now, here is where things get interesting for me. So fifth place was Konstrakta with corpore Sano, who represented Serbia. Back in my reaction, I don't know where I was in terms of my opinion for the song. I think I had to listen to it a couple more times. But not only that, but I had to see it live as well. And I'm standing Konstrakta at the moment. I'm living for the song. I'm living for the fact that the performance and the song itself was so different to all the other songs that were being provided to us for Eurovision this year. And that made me all the more happy to support Konstrakta in her journey in Eurovision. And I'm happy that she did really well. Seriously, I'm really happy that she did well. I did not expect her to get fifth at all. When the chorus came around, everyone started clapping along with the song. That signified something was happening here. There was a shift happening here, and realizing that, okay, a lot of people are actually enjoying this. And then that just got me more hyped for the song as well. And now I just can't get over it. And I'm really happy. Like I said, very different, very unique to the other songs. And I think it's a well-deserved fifth place. Okay, sixth place, Brividi, Italy, mahmood. I was running the money with saying that Italy would do well but not get first. I think I was quite accurate actually. But still, I love the song. I think that's all I have to say really about Brividi. The performance was alright. Again, not one of my favourite performances of the night. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say about it at this point in time. I think everything else I said was pretty much what I said in the reaction. As for Moldova and Greece, who came 7th and 8th respectively, I'm happy for that as well because those are also two other songs that I loved. And happy they went through to the grand final. Am I surprised that they're both in the top 10? I'm actually quite surprised that Greece is in the top 10. I love the song, but I didn't think people would love it as much as I thought. But everyone exceeded my expectations with Greece. I'm not surprised that Moldova's that high up. But I'm happy though because it's still a great song. It's because of the power of folklore and rock and roll. That's how they did it. That's how they got that high. And then also with Greece, I loved the design of the performance with all the melting chairs, and I also really loved Amanda's dress as well. It was kind of like that. It was white, but it was like shiny, pearlescent almost. It was giving opal, but not as vibrant. It was sort of like more lighter colors, but I enjoyed it, and I'm happy that she did better than what I thought. Speaking of countries that did better than I thought, and I cannot be ever so grateful about this, the fact that Maro came 9th out of 40 songs. Once again, I am right on the money with Portugal 2 times in a row. Saudade is officially my favourite song of Eurovision this year. And I'm in love with Maro and her voice and just her music. I've been listening to some of her more recent music as well, and I am living for it. The fact that Maro not only went through to the grand final, but did great, like top 10 great. Like she did better than the Black Mamba last year. That just made my night. Y'all didn't let me down, and I'm grateful for that. Thank you very much, because that song, for me, because I felt like in my mind I thought a lot of people wouldn't appreciate the song as much, but it seems like I might have been wrong, which is great because a lot of you seem to have loved the song, and thank you, because I think this song was well deserved to be in the top 10. I didn't think it would, but it did, and I'm like, holy fucking shit, this has just happened. Oh my god. I don't know how many other words I can say. Thank you for that, because I think that song just needed to be that high up. Alright, Norway, let's move on. Let's go to Netherlands. No, I'm just kidding. No, in all serious though, I was expecting Norway to go a bit higher than 10th. I thought a lot of people would have enjoyed the song. I mean, they did, but I thought it was going to do better than what I thought. But they didn't. Look, okay, like I said, I don't like this song, but I thought it was going to do better. I was kind of shocked by that as well. And also, in that time, Jim and Keith, as they're known, have had their identities remained anonymous all this time. But there are speculations that the identities of Subwoofer have been Ylvis, which...
You know what I found? Something that explains everything.
If that's the case, then I'm not surprised. If you don't know who Ylvis is, they are a Norwegian duo who are best known for the 2013 viral sensation that is The Fox.
What does the fox say?
Now, if you don't know The Fox, either you're too young or you've been living under a rock, but that was such a big hit around the world late 2013. A lot of people liked it, a lot of people hated it. I mean, I was sort of in the middle, but I just think if it is actually Ylvis, I mean, I reckon it makes a lot of sense if it is Ylvis that's behind this. Wolves, foxes, it's like the obsession with canine-esque creatures, you know? I don't know if Subwoofer's identities will ever be revealed, but I reckon that's a good speculation to have. There's a lot of parallels between the two, and that's all I've got to say about that. Then 11th we had S10 from the Netherlands with De Diept. I think it's how it's pronounced. I said De Diept in the reaction, but I think it's De Diept. I didn't initially like the song. I like it a bit more. Still not one of my favorites, but I'm liking it more than I did before. So I'm happy for S10. Good on you. Ochman. I'm really happy that Ochman did really well this year. I'm loving the song a lot more as well. I also am astounded by how good his vocals were live. It was basically just the as good as the studio version. And when he speaks after saying thank you and everything, he seems like a real gentleman. This guy.
A pleasure to perform for all of you, to share this moment.
Very sort of dapper, and just sort of in the way he speaks is very, very eloquent, I think. But also I liked the performance as well with the women in the outfits. Stefan with Hope, Estonia. Love that he did really well as well. Very Western, like I said, and also in the performance as well was very Western as well. It's a nice uplifting song. This Hope. Well, it's called Hope. Yeah, the song's called Hope, so of course it's going to be uplifting and very happy. Literally. 14th was Monica Liu with Sentimental. Not sentimental. I just keep loving the song as I hear it, as I see her performance. Her performance was lovely. Again, I think one of my favorite performances of the evening. Looking back now, I said it gave off a very mysterious vibe to it. But looking at it now, it's more specific now. The song and just the vibe of Sentimentai, it's giving Midnight at the Cabaret. And I love it. And also, Monica's stage presence really captured my eye as well, because she was just living on that stage. She was just giving it to the audience, and she was loving it. The audience was loving it. I loved it. I'm happy that she did well. I kind of wish she got more points, but I'm happy that because for a point in time, I thought she was going to be like top 20, but she's top 15, so that's good. That's as good as it can get for right now. Well, forever. And then 15th, we had Australia, not the same, Sheldon Riley. I don't want to be biased just because it's Australia. I kind of hoped that Australia was going to do a lot better in terms of the points. The fact that they only got 2 points in the televotes was shocking. And I think I saw a lot of the other artists were shocked as well, and the guests as well. I think they were all shocked by the fact that Sheldon only got 2 points in the televotes. And I looked before. It is a bit of a shock too, because in the second semi-final where Sheldon was, he came second just behind Cornelia in the jury votes. At the same time, I kind of agree with his positioning, because Sheldon was the 21st artist on stage, so he was towards the end. And then looking back at the recap, looking at his performance in comparison with other performances, it did seem like the song and the performance itself was a bit of an afterthought. It just kind of was left to the side. It didn't give as much as I thought, especially when he performed at the Australia Decides competition. It didn't have the same energy. Well, it had the same energy, but in comparison with some of the other songs that performed, it didn't seem as special to me as some of the other songs were. But I must say though, I really love Sheldon's outfit with the crystals and the feathers. I saw like one of the behind the scenes stuff. That shit was like 40 kilos of material that he was wearing. It's a lot. That was a lot. And look, congratulations Sheldon for doing well. I'm just happy that he got through to the grand final at this point. And look, 15th. It's better than not being in the grand final at all. I don't have much else to say in terms of the rest of the other 10 songs that were in, but I'll try and speed through them as quickly as I can. 16th, Fade to Black, Nadir Rasumli, Azerbaijan. Again, one of my least favorite songs to be in the grand final. One thing that one thing that did confuse me though was that in the semi-final, Nadir had hair, and then in the grand final, which was like 2 days later, his head was shaved. And I'm like, oh, okay. Obviously, he decided to do that, but it was like bizarre that he did that in between shows. I don't know. It just came off as odd, that's all. 17th, Switzerland, Marius Baird, Boys Do Cry. Again, love the song. I love Marius's voice. It's one of those songs that I could easily tear up to if the mood was right. It would definitely make me emotional. 17th might have been a bit too low. I thought he might have done a little bit higher. Maybe not top 10, but maybe like between 11th and 15th. But that's just me. 18th, Rus. I learned from last time. And Jamame from Romania. I'm happy that Romania went through, despite the fact that I didn't pick them to be in the grand final in my choice. I'm happy. I love the dancing. I love the outfit and just everything about it. And I really thought that this song was going to rank higher, because everyone was cheering on for him. So I find it strange that he only came 18th. Still, I'm glad that he went through to the grand final, because I think this song deserves to. 19th, Miss You, Jeremy Mackesay from Mackese, I think it is actually. Jeremy Mackese from Belgium. Looking back now, I didn't really want the song to go through to the grand final, especially the performance. I didn't think that Jeremy's vocals live brought out as much as the studio version. So I kind of thought, maybe the song might not go through to the grand final. It did. And even like the performance wasn't as good as what I expected it to be. So it was a bit of a letdown for me. Congratulations to Jeremy for doing well and going through to the grand final. 19th is a good look. Just being in the grand final is just is always really great anyways. But also the dances kind of put me off a bit. They were doing... all I can say was there was one point where I thought they were doing like Fortnite dances almost. That's all I can say. I don't know how else to explain it. We're moving on. Then 20th, we had Rosalind from Armenia with Snap. I'm really happy that Armenia went through. I'm loving the song more and more now, and I'm loving the chorus a lot more. The chorus is like stuck in my head. And I also loved the set design for her performance. I thought it was really creative. It sort of fit well with the song. Finland, the Rasmus, I thought they were going to do a lot better, because I just think, just because they're the Rasmus, I thought they would do rather well. But I think in past contests, we've seen that just because someone is very well known doesn't mean that they're going to do well. This is an example, but I think there were a lot of good songs this year in the grand final that it would have been hard to sort of pinpoint who would do better and who wouldn't. It's a bit unfortunate. Same with the Czech Republic. We are Domi. They came 22nd. I thought they were going to do better. At the same time, looking back now, I understand them being in 22nd in comparison to some of the other songs. It does seem very sort of a radio-friendly song, but I still fucking love it. So I can understand the Czech Republic being 22nd. Then we have Iceland, Sister, in 23rd. Like I said, in the reaction, I was on the fence with whether or not Iceland was going to go through to the grand final or not. Sure enough, they have. They've only come 23rd, but, you know, I'm happy for Sister. The song grew on me a bit more as I was watching it, so that's great. Then we had France at 24th, which, honestly, I could not believe, because that song was such a great song in terms of the musicality. For me, that's a song, like, I love that song. The fact that it only got 17 points was a killer for me, but you know what, yeah, it's unfortunate. I kind of hope they will probably do maybe top 15 at least, but yeah, better luck next time, France. And then lastly, Germany. Oh dear. Germany is down the bottom yet again. Like I said in the reaction, I felt like the song was either going to do really good or really bad, and I was right. It did really bad. It's not like the Rockstars was a bad song. I guess people just didn't like it. It, again, just like Lights Off, it was a very radio-friendly song. All I can say is that at least it didn't end up with 0 points. It just got 6. It's better than 0. At least the public weren't so ruthless this year with the televotes. And that's pretty much it. Once again, congratulations to Kalush Orchestra and Ukraine for winning the grand final. Cannot wait to see it next year, 2023. Can't wait to see where in Ukraine we're going to go. I'm hoping it's not Kiev. I want to go somewhere different, kind of explore more places. It'll be interesting to see what songs are going to be for next year and who the artists are going to be. This will be officially the last Eurovision video for the year. Obviously, I'll do them again next year, starting with the Australia Size competition, and then the official Eurovision reaction, and then the re-review, just like this one afterwards. So I think that's how I'm going to go. Just 3 videos of Eurovision a year. I think that's more than enough for me. If you stuck around throughout the entire video, thank you very much for watching. It's always nice just coming here, talking to you guys, and just talking about the things that I love, which seems to be getting a lot of reaction out of you guys, because I'm getting quite a few views so far. Oh, speaking of which, I do say in my movie reaction video that I am doing, but because that was like ages ago, I just want to say it now instead. Thank you very much for getting my Dawn FM video to over 100 views in under 24 hours. I could not believe that so many people viewed it in that short amount of time. I could not believe my eyes when I saw that. It means a lot to me that you guys are watching my videos and just viewing my content. It feels really good knowing that there are people out there that are enjoying my videos. Trust me, there'll be a lot more to come. I've got a lot of plans for videos to come. Like I said, my first movie reaction coming up very soon, and then I've got another music reaction ready to film in preparation for Pride Month. I can't wait to start that one and put that one out. That's going to be great, and I'm hoping to start doing some gaming as well in the next month or 2, so watch this space. Put a comment down below if you want to share your thoughts on the Eurovision Song Contest this year, or who your favorite artist was. If you like this video, give it a like. If you're liking my videos, please subscribe to my channel, and if you want to get notified for any future uploads, please hit the notification bell to get notified. Thank you very much. Eurovision season is officially over. We'll start getting the hype back up around the end of the year. And until then, take care, and I will see you all very soon. See you later. Bye.